We welcome each of you here. For the record, all city council members are present, all five, as well as members of the staff, the city staff. I've asked Brent Ellis if he'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening.
The audience will please rise and repeat the Pledge of Allegiance with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Longtime Riverdale resident Stan Haddon passed away on April 29th, and he was laid to rest last Saturday afternoon. Stan was born in Detroit, Michigan. He would have celebrated his 90th birthday this July. At the age of 5, Stan, along with his mother and sister, departed for Birmingham, England, where they lived for the next 12 years. During this time period, they survived the World War II German Blitz and were bombed nightly for over 8 months. While in England, Stan also joined the Royal Navy Reserve while he was there. Returning to America, Stan graduated from high school, and he later joined the United States Air Force, where he became veteran of the Korean War. Stan strongly believed in serving others. He served for several years as the river keeper of the Weber River here in Weber County. I was always amazed at how much Stan knew about the river and how much he understood it. Stan served Riverdale City in several capacities. He served as a member and also the chair of the Planning Commission. He served on the Board of Adjustments. Stan also served as a member of the City Council and as Mayor Pro Tem. He also served as a member of the Riverdale Veterans Memorial Committee, aiding in the design, construction, and dedication of our Veterans Memorial. Stan served as the president of the Weber Mosquito Abatement District. He served as the co-chair of the Hill Air Force Base Native American Program. He served as American Legion Post Commander, and he served as the district commissioner of the Boy Scouts of America. Stan loved people. His family, acquaintances, fellow workers, those who knew him knew he loved his Native American brothers and sisters. People of all races and kinds, all were equal in Stan's sight. This time we'd like to take a moment to remember Stan Haddon for his love of country, love of his community, and love of people, and for his life of service. May we now take a moment of silence. Thank you. Moving on our agenda, we move next to public comment. This is a time when you're able to come forward and address the City Council with any suggestions or ideas or concerns that you might have. If you come up, we would ask you come to the microphone and state your name. We'd also ask if you'd limit your time to 3 minutes. Time is now yours for public comment. Seeing none, we'll move on to the mayor's report. I just have 2 or 3 items I'd like to mention. One is, got this off a Facebook post and also through correspondence with a resident. We've got a American serviceman returning home tomorrow morning. He's been in Iraq 11 months as a platoon sergeant with the Army National Guard, and he'll return home, like I said, about 11:30. And from what I understand, he'll come in probably about where the Parker Drive roundabout is on 4400 South. He'll go down past the community center and the fire station, and they're planning to they're inviting people to come and just give him a wave and welcome him home. So I think that's a neat thing, and just want to pass that on to the council and those of you that are here. If you have time, it's a neat thing. I plan on being there, and I think it's important that we honor those that serve. They do so much and sacrifice away from their families. I think it's important we do all we can to let them know we appreciate them. So, second item, we've got our last Lunch with the Mayor program at the fire station. This is the final one of the school year. We'll have that with sixth grade students from 4 different elementary schools, and we'll have that this Thursday at noon. So, council, you're invited if you care to come and you're not at work. So, and the last item, we do have a strategic planning meeting, a budget meeting this Saturday at 8 o'clock at the Riverdale Senior Center. That be at 8 o'clock in the morning. Public, it is an open meeting. Public is invited to that meeting. So that's all I have. Next item is council committee assignment reports. Do you have anything from your various committees that you serve on, Mr. Ellis?
Yeah, Keith Hill was appointed the director of the mosquito abatement our last meeting. Also, with all this wet weather, we can look forward to a bumper crop of mosquitoes, so hang on.
Okay, anything else? Anything from Senior Center, CTC, or anything? Okay, thanks. Move on to item 2. This is recognition, Riverdale City for receiving the Trust Accountability Program, the TAP Award. Our presenter is Jason Watterson from the Utah Local Government Trust. Jason, we're glad to have you back with us again and appreciate you being here. I think you travel quite a ways to get here, don't you?
Let's see, I started in Heber this morning and I put a lot of miles on, but that's kind of the duty I signed up for. It's a pleasure to be able to work with our local governments all around the state, and so. But I live up in Cache Valley, so. But I started out at Heber early, and bounce all over the place. I still got one more tonight, and around the state. Before the end of the week, I'll be in St. George presenting down there. So it's a rather busy task, but it's important stuff. We want to come in and do these presentations. I appreciate the opportunity to have just a minute to present the Trust Accountability Program Award. I believe this is the 3rd consecutive year, and this is an important award. Several years ago, 6 years ago to be exact, we sat down and said, what are the things that any organization, in particular local governments around the state, need to have in place to have a good risk management program? What are the things that we do to help prevent employee injuries, and to look at those things like auto crashes and lawsuits that could happen in our cities, and what are the things that need to be in place, and we build a program around that, and we modify it each year, and it's called the Trust Accountability Program, and accountability is a big part of that. We like to come in and highlight this. We throw some carrots in this. We give you some money back. I believe you've received a check already for $1,250. We give you a chunk of your liability premium back as kind of a little carrot to get people to start doing this. But in truth, really, that money pales in comparison to the big money, which is preventing those losses and keeping our employees productive because they're healthy and not getting injured on the job. The city's done some outstanding things, having a safety committee or risk management committee that meets together, looks at incidents and near misses, things that have happened or could happen in the city, and they work hard to prevent those things from happening. And that's one of the requirements. Some of the other requirements are some rather simple things like checking all of the employees' driver's license records to make sure they have a valid driver's license and make sure that they have a good record and taking appropriate action. Some of these things seem like they may be simple things, but they're essential to having a good program. And just want to highlight Roger and thank him for his leadership here. Thank you as mayor and council for supporting them in all of this, and really point out all of the department heads. I have to tip my hat to Stacy Como as well. She put together all the documentation that goes along with this and has really been instrumental in this program. So congratulations and thank you so much for working hard to keep Riverdale safe.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Good. We could have came down, Jason, so just so you know that. You don't have to deliver all the way, but we do appreciate you coming. I knew you lived in Cashville. I think we visited your
You did.
parents' place up there above Cutler Dam there for.
And I really appreciate that. You know, that was something you were not required to do, but it was an issue that I'd come up here, so I'm on the tape. But I really appreciate both of you coming there. That's a personal item on my with my family's property up there and the farm that we've had for almost 160 years. Almost 160 years, and it was in jeopardy, and we appreciate you having open minds and coming and listening to some of the challenges that we have as we go forward and look at water development and various different things in the state. So that's a real credit to all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah, that was a neat tour and experience we had that day. So
Come back anytime.
be good. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. So kind of envious of you. It's a pretty neat place you live. So just like to congratulate this award, as Jason mentioned, this is the city staff and the employees, and we do appreciate, Roger, what you and the other members of the staff that are here, and everyone does to earn this reward. This is something city council's able to come and receive, and the mayor, but it's really you guys that earn it, and you're the ones that it's for you and because of you, and we do appreciate your service. So what you do, any comments or council? These guys are all happy campers. Mr. Mitchell, did you have some?
No.
You lean forward. If you lean forward, you're gonna speak.
Just want to make sure the employees are safe in all their activities, and we don't need any sort of accidents or claims of any sort. We want them to have fun and work hard, and that's good. That shows a lot of responsibility that they were able to keep it good this whole year. So.
Good. Thank you. Move on next to the consent items. Consideration to approve the meeting minutes from April 2nd, which was our city council work session. We had the fire discussion on the interlocal agreement. Also had the minutes from April 16th, the city council work session, and also the city council regular session on the same date. So do we have any changes or corrections on the consent items? With that, do we have a motion on the consent items?
Move to approve the consent items.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's unanimous in favor. Thank you. Move on next to the action items. First this evening, we'll have a public hearing. This is to receive and consider comments regarding declaring unclaimed property as public interest use. Mr. Carden.
Thank you, Mayor. As we discussed upstairs, this is just to declare property that was lost, unclaimed, surplus, or otherwise no longer viable for the city and its purposes that's identified in the packet in Exhibit A. And then just to clarify, I didn't mention this upstairs, the items on that list, they usually are just valued at $100 or more. There is a few things, so like your old iPads, they probably never end up on that list. But if there's some things that could possibly be worth $100, we put them on there just to be safe. If you have any questions for me.
Okay, with that, we would need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is now open. Time for you to come forward to the microphone and make any comments you might have regarding this declaring unclaimed property as public interest use. Seeing none, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's unanimous in favor. Move on to item 1B. This is the consideration to adopt the resolution 2019-08 regarding declaring this unclaimed property as public interest use. Do you have any discussion or comments from the council? Mr. Hanson.
I'd make a motion to approve resolution 2019-08 declaring unclaimed and/or surplus property as public interest use as stated in the packet.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion on this motion? Mrs. Manning, would you poll the council on this resolution, please?
Councilmember Arnold?
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson?
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens?
Aye.
Councilmember Ellis?
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell?
Aye.
Unanimous in favor. Moving on to item 2A. This is another public hearing. This is to discuss the adoption of the Riverdale City and RDA tentative budgets for fiscal year 2019 and 2020 through 2020. Mr. Carden again.
So just required by state law, we got to go ahead and approve the tentative budget prior to our first meeting in May. We will go over this, as the mayor indicated, in great detail on Saturday. And we do have a packet of some more items for you and some agenda that we'll send out probably tomorrow or Thursday that goes along with the tentative budget. If you have any questions on it, I can go ahead and answer those now, or we can talk about them on Saturday.
Let's go ahead and do the public hearing first and then see if they have any questions. Do we have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The public hearing is now open. You're welcome to come forward to the microphone if you have any input regarding this tentative budget. Seeing none, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous in favor. We move on to item 2A, consideration to adopt resolution 2019-09, Riverdale City and RDA tentative budget for fiscal year 2019 through 2020. Do you have any questions for Mr. Carden on this tentative budget? With that, do we have a motion, Mr. Arnold?
Move to approve resolution 2019-09 to adopt the Riverdale City and RDA tentative budgets for fiscal year 2019-2020.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion on this motion? Mrs. Manning, will you poll the council on this resolution, please?
Councilmember Hanson?
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens?
Aye.
Councilmember Ellis.
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell.
Aye.
Councilmember Arnold.
Aye.
It's unanimous in favor. Move next to action item number 3, consideration to approve ordinance 908, amending title in chapter 1, section 5, extensions, area of water service, permit required, including the designated water service area map. Our city administrator, Mr. Worthen, Roger Worthen.
Mayor, thank you. Council, before you tonight is a proposed amendment to City Code 81-5, which would adopt a designated water service area map as per Utah Code annotated in 1017-4 of Rules and Regulations and Use of Water. What we're attempting to do, Council, is define our delivery area of water, which is currently mentioned in our code, but we do not have that map as adopted. We're also making a change to the Water Code 815 itself, where it outlines that the city is not permitted to deliver water outside of that service delivery area map designation, unless obviously property is annexed into the community. That's what we're seeking your review and approval this evening.
Okay, do we have any questions or? Go ahead, Alan.
Move to approve ordinance 908 as stated within the packet.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion on the motion? Mrs. Manning, will you poll the council again, please, on this ordinance?
Councilmember Stevens.
Aye.
Councilmember Ellis.
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell.
Aye.
Councilmember Arnold.
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson.
Aye.
Unanimous in favor. Thank you. Move on to discretionary items. Is there any discretionary business this evening in the council? Mr. Arnold.
Can we move the meeting on May 11th to like 10 o'clock so I can go to breakfast with my mother-in-law?
No,
We'd have to move it later than that.
you gotta be there a few extra hours to make up for last year.
Start at noon and end at.
Bring your mother-in-law to lunch.
Nobody remembered.
No.
You made everybody remember now.
Serious. You can pay for it.
The extra bagels.
Any other discretionary for this meeting? We have a motion then to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you for being here, and
Is that serviceman in your
public
ward,
and
or-
staff, thank you for being here.
Who wasn't?
Stacy Anderson's husband.